My name is Dom Douglas, and I am back-to-back XWW Commentator of the Year. With that comes some responsibilities, but also a lot of fun and excitement, and I'm never ashamed to look like a complete fool. Speaking of that, I love playing Magic the Gathering, so much so that I kind of think I play it a little bit too much, and I have some opinions. So now, ExtremeTVOnline.com and XWW Wrestling on YouTube presents my podcast where I talk about Magic the Gathering. It's the Goblin Grenade Podcast. I want to welcome you to the podcast. This time it's going to be a little different. We got a deck tech. I've probably done this before, but I recently rebuilt my mice deck from Bloomborough in Arena, and I'm kind of liking some of the changes that I did to it. I looked up, I did look up on the internet and whatnot to see what I should be doing, what was going wrong with it. The old deck was definitely a little, it was a one-trick pony, and if it it didn't hit that trick 20% of the time. It only would hit it 20% of the time. So there was a lot of waffle stomps that were going on my on my end. But now I kind of have it rebuilt. Now you don't need Cavern of Souls. Flat out, you do not need Cavern of Souls. It's like a $50 card per card right now. But the rest of the deck is not too bad. I think the most expensive cards right now are Emberheart Challenger and Monstrous Rage. The Restless Bivouac is also there, but we'll get into the rest of the deck right about now. What the deck wants to do is just get a lot of mice on the board, or a couple of mice, and just beat constantly. We have tons of 1-drops. Cheeky Mouse House is a 1 white for a 2/1 mouse, but it's also a sorcery with an adventure. Squeak by. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater this turn. That comes into play a little bit more than you would think. We have Flowerfoot Swordmaster for 1 white mana for a 1/2, but it's got Offspring, so if you pay 3 mana, you get 2 Flowerfoot Swordmasters on the board. One's a 1/2, one's a 1/1. Whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or an ability you control for the first time each turn, mice you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. In the main, we play 2 copies of Loran's Escape for 1 white mana instant. Target artifact or creature gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Scry 1. I'm still on the fence about this or Crumb and Get It. But the thing is about Loran's Escape, it gives it hexproof as well, and you don't have to do a gift. We play 4 copies of Heartfire Hero for 1 red mana for a mouse soldier 1/1 with Valiant. Whenever Heartfire Hero becomes a target of a spell or an ability you control for the first time each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it. When Heartfire Hero dies, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. This card spiked very, very quickly, to the point that I got my playsets when they were a quarter a pop. On paper, now it's like $250 a card or something like that, because it's seeing play in mono red and mice decks and Rakdos decks, and it's so good, especially when it dies. 4 copies of Might of the Meek for 1 red instant. Target creature gains trample until end of turn. It also gets +1/+0 until end of turn if you control a mouse. We play tons of mice in this deck. Draw a card. 4 copies of Monstrous Rage, which is outrageously priced at like $3 a piece right now, for a 1-drop instant, 1 red. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Create a monster roll token attached to it. That monster is an enchantment creature aura, and it gets +1/+1 and trample until it has trample. We play a single copy of Lost Jitte, and this card puts work in when it happens, but I can see why it's a 1 of. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage, put a charge counter on Lost Jitte. Remove a counter from Lost Jitte, choose 1. Untap target land. Target creature can't be blocked this turn, and put a +1/+1 counter on equipped creature. So that is a ton of 1-drops we play. In the 2-drop slot, we played 3 copies of Valley Questcaller for 1 and a white for a 2/3 rabbit warrior. Whenever 1 or more rabbit, birds, bats, and or mice you control enter, scry 1. Other rabbit, bats, birds, and mice you control get +1/+1. We have 4 copies of Emberheart Challenger, which is a $5 card now, for 1 and a red for haste, a 2/2 with haste and prowess. It's got Valiant. Whenever Emberheart Challenger becomes a target of a spell or an ability you control for the first time each turn, exile the top card of your library. Until end of turn, you may play that card. 4 copies of Manifold Mouse for 1 and a red for a 1/2 mouse soldier with offspring. So if you play it for 4, you get 2 copies. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target mouse you control gains your choice of double strike or trample until end of turn. If you pay the offspring cost, you give them both, which does very degenerate broken things. 2 copies of Rabid Gnaw for 1 and a red instant. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Then it deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. As you can see in the main, we don't play a lot of removal. We play 2 copies of Raging Battle Mouse for 1 and a red for a 2/1 mouse. The second spell you cast each turn costs 1 less to cast. Doesn't matter what it's as long as it's another spell. That's a creature, that's an instant, that's an enchantment, that's anything. Celebration. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if 2 or more non-land permanents enter the battlefield under your control this turn, target creature you control gets +1/+1 till end of turn. And then finally, in the spell slots, 2 copies of Mabel, Heir to Cragflame. I'm playing 4 copies or 3 copies in the main. I don't care. For 1, a white, and a red for a 3/3 legendary mouse soldier. Other mice you control get +1/+1. When Mabel, Heir of Cragflame, enters, create Cragflame, a legendary colorless artifact equipment token with equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has vigilance, trample, and haste. Equip 2. So the equipment equips for 2 and creature gets +1/+1, vigilance, trample, and haste. We play 4 plains, 3 mountains, 2 Rockface Villages, which taps to add a colorless or taps to add a red. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell, and then 1 red and tap. Target lizard, mouse, otter, or raccoon you control gets +1/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. We play 3 copies of Battlefield Forge. The Pain lands can either tap for a colorless or a red and a white, and it deals 1 damage to you. We play 4 copies of Inspiring Vantage. Enters tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands. Taps for a red and a white. 1 copy of Restless Bivouac. Enters tapped to add, and you can tap it to add a white or a red, or for 1 white red, it becomes a 2/2 red white ox creature until end of turn. It's still a land. Whenever it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. And then finally, 3 copies of Cavern of Souls. We choose mice. We can add colorless to the mana pool, or add 1 mana of any color. Spend it only to cast a creature spell of the chosen type, and the spell can't be countered. As I said, you do not need this card. You don't. In the sideboard is very interesting. We play 3 Destroy Evils, basically anti-big creature stuff. We play 4 copies of Lightning Helix, which deals 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. Let me go back to Destroy Evil real quick. Destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater, or destroy target enchantment. 4 copies of Lightning Helix, deals 3 damage to any target. We gain 3 life. This is really prevalent for like the mono red decks. 2 extra copies of Loran Escape in the side. 3 copies of Tectonic Hazard, deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature they control, because a lot of token decks are starting to pop off here, and we need to deal with that. And then 3 copies of Nettle Guard. 1 and a white for a 3/1 mouse soldier. It's got Valiant. Whenever it becomes a target of a spell or an ability you control for the first time each turn, it gets +0/+2 until end of turn. And then 1 and sack Nettle Guard, destroy target artifact or enchantment. So that is it. We're going to play some best of 3 here, and I'm going to check real quick to see if I'm still recording, because I have a bad feeling I'm still recording. So we're going to do this because I did not have a topic ready because I'm stuck editing a bunch of stuff. So that's all me. We're going to go into ranked, best of 3, standard, with our mice rebuilt. So the general vibe of the deck, get mice out and start swinging away. We are it's a little bit more one-trick pony, if you will, but it does connect a lot more often. We do have removal now. We have a removal suite in the sideboard as well. And ways to gain life, ways to get rid of enchantments, ways to get rid of big creatures like Sheridid or Urabrask or any of the other big chonkers out there that are wrecking face, especially anything playing green that ramps into like 6/6s, 6/6 creatures, like at the drop of a hat on like turn 3. That's happened a bit, but in game 2, we can prepare for that adequately. Plus, with all the talents coming into the game as well and seeing prominence, you kind of need to get rid of those enchantments. I think we're entering. Yay, we found a match finally. So yeah, I've been digging the mice deck so much. We're going to be on the play first. We got 4 lands, a Swordfoot, a Heartfire Heroes. Yeah, we're going to play those. We'll play an advantage into a hero. Then next turn is going to be Mountain Hero. They play a Passage. They got the doggo sleeves. And they play a Forest. Okay, cool. So we can play this. We can play Heartfire. Then we're just going to immediately play Monstrous Rage on the hero that can attack. So now we have a 4-2, and our opponent conceded immediately. Sometimes that happens. I don't know what they're playing, so I'm going to ship the same 60. And they probably have sideboarded it. They're probably going to sideboard in all their hate for the mice. Because it's a known deck, too. It's a known quantity deck. It's not tier 1. I don't even think it's tier 2. I think it's on the border of tier 3 and 2. Cavern of Souls definitely makes it tier 2 because your stuff can't get countered. But as I said before, you don't need to buy 3 or a playset of Cavern of Souls if you already don't have them. 3 Tree City does not make sense in the deck because we don't play that many creatures. You tend not to want to have as many creatures out as possible. I like it because we have Souls into Heartfire into Emberheart. And then we're going to name Mouse. And then we're going to play Heartfire. Yep, there's the talents that I was talking about before. So we're going to play the Inspiring Vantage. And we just made Monstrous Rage the hero. And I'm just going to keep it as is. Because if they have removal for it, now we're hitting them for 3. Unless it's exiled, but that usually, they don't play. Yeah. So they destroy it. We pop them for 3. They level up the talent. And now we have an interesting call here. We have an interesting choice. Do we double the Swordmaster? Nah, I think we just get Emberheart Challenger out. And then I shouldn't have done that, but you know what? I want the extra damage. I want them to have a very bad choice here. We lose an escape, but it is what it is. Choking Miasma. I'm cool with that. They're on the defensive. We're going Mouse again. I think we play a Flowerfoot and Offspring it. And then we keep up Rage and or Meek. If they want to wipe the board again, I think we might have the Meek. And our opponent conceded. Sometimes this deck just gets off so fast and pops off that there's almost no stopping it. It does have weaknesses, obviously. I mean, that deck, their Golgari shenanigans, it has issues with sometimes. Also, definitely aggro red, aggressive mono red. Sometimes in game 1, anything playing Sherodid. Because Sherodid's been my enemy for a while now. But we can keep this because Rockface Village will power up the hero. So worst case, if they play a tapped land, we can Inspire Vantage, pump the hero. Or it just made... They have their own Heartfire Hero. Huh. How's it going? We are going to play an Inspiring Vantage. I think Valley Questcaller may be the right call just to pump up the hero. Because they're not going to block with their hero, obviously. They're going to want to pump it up. They're going to want to definitely Monstrous Rage it. Innkeeper's talent. See what I see? Tons and tons of these talents are coming in. So, I'm not going to block. I think I need that. We're going to Might of the Meek, the hero. We get a card draw. We're going to Emberheart Challenger. Scry 1 into a Manifold Mouse. And if they don't have a correct answer, we win with Manifold Mouse. So they're going to have a Brotherhood's End. And they will go down to 6 if they do. Emberheart Challenger, I think we win. I think we're going to win, especially if they Monstrous Rage the hero. I think they do it to the hero to make it a 5/5. And if they rage the hero, they pass. Interesting. Was not expecting that. But I think we just Manifold Mouse Offspring. This is the one that gives a choice of Double Strike or Trample. We're going to give it to... We are going to give it, if it survives, Double Strike and Trample to the hero. Or do we do it? They may just wind up killing one of these things. Yeah, they killed the one, which is fine. Battlefield Forge we won't need. Now an interesting line of combat. Let's give it Double Strike. And make a really bad block. Because if they block with the hero, it dies. Our hero dies too. They go down to 5. Alright. Oh, did you forget? Oh, bold move. Bold move by our opponent. What is this? If they Manifold Mouse, we still win. Alright, Snakeskin Veil. But not on the hero. That was a risky call by them. So they hit that. They hit the Swift Spear. So they're at 10 damage right now. And they're still not in good... Yeah. I think they just took themselves out. Alright, so we know what we're going up against. What do we sideboard in? Do we get... I think we get rid of the 2 Battle Mouses for 2 Nettle Guards. And then... we'll get rid of the Rabid Gnaws for 2 more Loran's Escapes. Because they're going to want to kill our stuff fast. Now, that could be the wrong call. I'm still learning the sideboards, but I kind of know what to do. Nettle Guard is definitely going to take care of the talents that they want to bring. It's so strange, though. I'm not playing any of the talents in this deck. You would figure that this would be a great deck to play a talent with, but nothing fits. The white and the red ones really don't fit. This is an interesting choice. I think we keep it. I know, dangerous, but we have so many 1-drops. Swift Spear. Mouse. And then Hero. But they also they mulliganed 2. So they hit the Survey Land. They ditch a Slick Shot Show Off. Telling me they don't have... Alright, so we're just going to take the 1. We're going to take the 2, I mean. And hope for a win. Oof. Oh, we can't even do that. I think we just got to Heartfire. And start trying to win this race. I kept the 1-lander. It was my fault on that. But what, you know, you keep it. Especially with, you know, the phrase better to be lucky than good. So I think we lose here, but I want to see it play it out, and I want to see if they have any crazy shenanigans that happen. Drop their next creature. They do not. Alright. We didn't draw the second land, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think we just ship it. I think we just shipped the same 60. But that first game, we cooked. The second game, I kept a very dangerous one-lander, only because sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and I wasn't lucky on that one. So we will play first. We have... Yep. We have the goods. And Heartfire Hero. Then we can Mountain. They're going to kill the hero, which is okay. So we got them backpedaling already. So we're going to do this. We're going to Emberheart Challenger. And if they have another piece of removal, I'm okay with that too. They have their own Challenger. Cool. Now. Yes. I think we're going to do this. Take the 1 damage. Hope they don't have the Brotherhood's End in hand. Because what's going to happen is Questcaller into a Monstrous Rage on one of these swordsmen, and we're just going to have oodles of damage. But they probably have Brotherhood's End. It wouldn't surprise me if they did. Yeah, they're attacking. They have the Brotherhood's End. Or a pump. Alright, so the Monstrous Rage into a Heartfire Hero. So they're going to have creatures next turn. Alright. So they have a 6-4. We have a 1-1. And they Monstrous Rage the hero. Sweet. Okay. This just got interesting. Okay. We take the damage on the Valley Questcaller. Pumping everything up. And see what Hero's going to trade. Hero's going to trade for the Swordmaster. So what we're going to do is Monstrous Rage. Bring him down to 4. We're going down to 7. And hopefully we did enough damage in the first turn or two to compensate for what could happen to us. Because if they get rid of Questcaller and have a couple cantrips, we're dead. But that's 4, 6. We're blocking 3 of it. So we're down to 4. We're hovering over our avatar in case they have it. Because they could Rockface Village the Challenger. Because the Emberheart Challenger does have Trample. Opponent's deep in their tank, and I can't blame them for... Oh, no, never mind. It's... The servers are absolute dog shit right now. And it could just be me, but it's happened... Everything else I play is totally fine on all my networks. Like Call of Duty 6, Black Ops. What? Did our opponent quit? Okay, I think what happened is they conceded. They didn't hit what they were going to hit. Yeah, they conceded. At least I think that... Yeah, because usually when that happens, it just tries to kick you back into the game. So our opponent probably whiffed, didn't have enough to kill, realized we were going to win on the next turn, and conceded. But then we had a server issue. Never change, Wizards, never change. Look, the program, I I occasionally love Arena. It gets me to play Magic because I don't get out of the house much, but it's stuff like that, and it's not been a new occurrence. I mean, I played Diablo 4 just fine. I played the Black Ops 6 beta just fine. I played Modern Warfare 3 Remastered just fine. I got back into Call of Duty for some reason. I've played all these games just fine. Even computer games on my computer I play occasionally, like Arena. But we do have a Heartfire Hero, so it's going to be Rockface Village into Heartfire. All right. Oh. We're going up against Control. And this is one of our worst matchups. But this is why Cavern of Souls does kind of help. And that we don't get the Heartfire Hero thing because it gets exiled. Yes, I have Cavern of Souls. It's you have to get rid of it, but you can't counter it. So the control matchup, and this is a perfect example of what I'm dealing with. The weaknesses of this deck. It's the control matchup. I haven't been able to figure out what adequate cards to sideboard in or out to prevent the control matchup from owning me. Like right now, our opponent's trying to figure out how to get rid of Mabel. Never mind. The servers are servering. But see, like as I said, it's trying to kick us back into the game. Whereas last time it just immediately quit. So I guess our opponent quit while we hit that server lag. So now we're gonna... Oh, okay, so they deduced. So that's 4, so it's Archangel Elsbeth. So we're wide open here. We're wide open here. Now, we're going to get hit with a Sunfall, but I don't care, because Double Strike, Trample, and let's see what happens. So they lose their 1/1. Yeah, so this is Sunfall time. This is a Sunfall. Temporary lockdown. But it doesn't work on Mabel. Which is okay. I think we just hardcast a Manifold Mouse. We're going to give a trample. And we're going to have to attack Archangel Elsbeth. Just to get another... Just to prevent Archangel Elsbeth from... Now, that tells me also they don't have removal, because they wouldn't do that in that order. So they're looking for it. So we can Valley Questcaller. Mabel, Heir to the Cragflame. Trample. And we're going to ignore Archangel Elsbeth because they can't pop the 6 yet. Elsbeth's... Why did I tap it like... Oh, Questcaller's a rabbit. I keep forgetting that. I keep forgetting Valley Questcaller's a rabbit and not a mouse. It just happens to pump everything else up. But now we got to be in danger of a Sunfall, yeah. So now we got to tap this correctly to get an Emberheart. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do this. Because they have nothing in their graveyard, letting Elsbeth do what Elsbeth wants to do. Now they do have the Anchorage. So we're gonna Heartfire Hero. Then let's Rabid Gnaw the 1/1. So they let it happen. And let's see that. Yep. Then pump it up. Or prevent the damage. Or do the Archangel. They're going to try to draw a card here. So they're looking for something. But they could probably also have another piece of removal. Alright. So this is not good. This is why we do have the trouble with This is why we do have trouble with the control deck. See if they pump us. Alright, so they go up to 9. I don't want to get landfalled here. I want them to overcorrect. Sunfall, I mean. They don't have it. But they have a grip full of stuff. Oh, why did we tap the Inspiring Vantage? No, we had to. That's right. It's a rabbit. I keep forgetting that. They can counter this. Yeah. That's what they did. I still want to keep the Loran's escape. They still don't have any permanents 3 or less. But this could be pretty significant. Yeah, I'm cool with that. So they got the demo field. That's their Sunfall. Yeah, that's fine. But you can see how grindy this game gets.
This is our fight to win.
But it's an Inspiring Vantage, and I've seen enough, but I want to do this. This one they can't counter. Okay, so they don't have removal and they don't have mass removal in hand because they did that. So now they have a 3/3 flyer.
To the skies.
And this is what the control-y decks want to do. They want to grind out a game. And this can only be done as a sorcery. Okay, cool. Not what I was hoping for, but, you know. Let's, do this. And, let's, do that. Then let's, do this. So they pay a life. I want to see if they have a counter spell. I want to see what counter spell they have. All right, 3 steps ahead. So we got to play around that. But the deck does hold up well. It's just a very grindy game. What was I noticing? So we can get rid of the Gnawls. Get rid of the Questcallers. And it's doing that glitch to me again. Arena team, get your shit together. I'm playing best of 1. Best of 2. Best of 3. And I cannot sideboard in. And now, look at this. I can't put the Questcallers in. So once again, we got to close down. I apologize to my opponent. I didn't know the Steam version of Magic the Gathering Arena ran like dog shit. And hopefully, yeah.
I will put an end to this misery.
Yeah, we can't sideboard. My opponents can, but I can't for some reason. It's just stop saying that you spend a lot of money fixing the game, because you don't. It's clear as day that you don't. Well, you know, we'll see how it goes again after our opponent is able to sideboard in things. They have counters for days. Do I just want to Might of the Meek? Get it countered? No, it stays. So that's pretty good. They have counter in hand, though. Or some piece of removal. Yeah. Loyalty. Got it. But yeah, we couldn't sideboard in any of our enchantment, hate, any of our... We couldn't sideboard in anything. Now we're going to Cavern of Souls for Mouse. We are going to Manifold Mouse. We're going to auto pay. Because they can't get a counter because of Cavern of Souls. So now that activates Celebration. So we're going to activate the mouse, activate the mouse. We're going to give it... We're going to give it Double Strike and Trample. And then it's going to die. Because they have the Smite. Because we weren't allowed to counter. We weren't allowed to sideboard. Chromeho Siege Shark. And I think that's game over at this point. I think that's game over. Game over, man. Let's get the Valley Questcaller in there. Do I Rabid Gnaw? I can't Rabid Gnaw anything. Let's tell him I'm thinking. I can Might of the Meek one of the mana. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. We'll target the bigger mouse and the bigger mouse. We'll give it Trample and Double Strike. We'll just attack with that one. So at least get rid of one of their creatures, but they've won this game already. And that's just kind of like how it is with the control in current standard. They've won the game. Good game. I've seen enough. But I think that game goes different if we were allowed the sideboard. Honest truth. But that's because I can only run the Arena, the Steam version of Arena, because I can't download any of the updates because there's this weird thing that goes on with my computer about a program already downloading and it doesn't exist. So Wizards has basically the giantest of brain farts that you can imagine, and it just won't let me download it. Ooh. This is interesting. I think we keep. It could be really bad, but we are on the draw. They go down to 6. And they play a passage into a forest. No, into a swamp. Got it. So they're probably playing the discard deck. Which, if you're playing green, Obstinate Baloth is really good. So let's let the Raging Battle Mouse die from whatever removal they have in hand. Then we can play Challenger, especially if we get a land, and then we can Might of the Meek it. But now that's 3, and they're playing Orzhov. Bye-bye, mouse. What? Legion of Ashes. Exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls on all tokens. Same name. Ooh, that's devastating. But I think we get in for 2 damage. We don't have. We didn't get a card. Emberheart Challenger is gonna die. Passage into Plains, or probably another swamp. This is probably going to be a passage into Plains into a Sheridan. Hostile Negotiator, Investigator. All right, so we discard a card. What do we want to discard? I think Questcaller. Let's see what happens. I think we can win this one. Yeah, we can win this one, because now that gives it 5. 8, trample. It survives. We are going to say mouse. And then Swordfleet Swordmaster. We got a board wipe coming up. We got a board wipe coming up, but I'm hoping it's Sheridan because I'm really good at playing around that card. Beza. They're playing Beza. Shoot. Well, we could be dead here. Well, let's Cheeky House Mouse, preventing Beza from being able to block it. That's a Heartfire Hero. So we will do that. We will now play the Battlefield Forge. And I think Valley Questcaller. That pumps the team up. And we only get to attack with the Emberheart Challenger because they can't block anything with 3 or more. We have a Heartfire Hero that can do 1 damage. We could still be facing a board wipe, but I would love to see a Shelly. Because I've gotten really good at playing around Sheridans in the last, couple weeks. Especially with this deck. So they could be trying to kill the Challenger, which is okay by me. Sacks a creature. We'll sack the hero. I bet they weren't expecting that one. Now, if our board survives and we top deck a Manifold Mouse, we win. But they really need to kill the Challenger. And can they do it? They're either deep in attack or we've probably got server issues. Legion to Ashes. So they get rid of that. Do they swing, flunge? No, they don't. All right. We get a Bivouac. So I think we Bivouac. Cheeky House Mouse. Might of the Meek. It's a Monstrous Rage. So let's see what happens. Win this. +1. +2. That's 3. We could... We could get in. We could get in. We can get in a cheeky bit here and kill their Beza. So I got rid of their Beza, which is good. They probably have another one. Bandit's Talent. They're playing discard. Which I didn't need that land anyway. I've got a Might of the Meek up. So they may sack something. So that's how they're going to go around it. That's okay. We are immediately going to Might of the Meek. We're going to Rockface. We're going to add that Rockface to Cheeky House Mouse. And then I think we just flunge, because I think we're done. Do they double? Okay. I'm totally okay for a board wipe. I'm totally okay for that. Also depends on what they bring out, but they could also pump the talent up. They got another Braids. So this is their play. They Bandit's Talent Braids to constantly do damage to me. So they sack the Blade. It's done its job. Now we're down to 11. We got the Inspiring Vantage. But yeah, we're going to game 2. Hopefully we can sideboard. Alright, I think the Helixes... and the Loran's escapes. We get rid of Battle Mouse. The 2 Rabid Gnaws. A Flowerfoot. And a Questcaller. So now we have the proc. We don't have... I didn't see any big creatures, so... Helixes will deal just fine with Braids. That's a no-lander. That's a 3-lander with 2 Mabels. And I'm just going to Sword Fleet. And then I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to pop that. And then they're going to cut down. They can't cut down. Interesting. I think I just do another... I think I do that again. And basically Mabel. Depends on what they do. Tithing Blade. Sacks a creature. Let's sack that. Now we have a red. So I think we Mabel. Welcome to the party, Mabel. Cut down prevented, but a lot of other removal will get rid of it. Nurturing Pixie. And we'll just kill the... Yeah, we'll just kill the Flowerfoot. Alright, so now we can cheeky House Mouse. And guess what we can do? Give it trample. Give it. 3, 4, 5. We draw a card. We do that and see what they have. They probably kill the Mabel. But that's also shielded mana. They just have a Pixie. Which is interesting loop. Pixie into bouncing the Tithing Blade, recasting the Tithing Blade. It could be removal. It's a Beza. Got it. So if we have a cheeky House Mouse, we could win. No, instead it's a Heartfire Hero. Hork, yeah. They've seen this before. They've seen it before. Now we get to draw a card, too. So now we have a pretty decent board. I'm just worried about mass board wipes. They now have Fountain Port. Temporary Lockdown doesn't hit the Mabel. Hits their stuff, but doesn't hit our Mabel. Bandit's Talent. We can't discard. So now we can do some damage here. This is a Manifold Mouse being Offspring. So we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to give it Double Strike and Trampopolis. We got them on a 1-turn clock. Take a temporary lockdown again. We can Nettle Guard. All right, we're going to game 3. All right. Oh, I didn't put the Nettle Guards in. Ooh. All right, so we're going to get rid of those, and we're going to put the 3 Nettle Guards in. Because Nettle Guard is one of our better options on turn 3 to get rid of an enchantment. Or get rid of a temporary lockdown, because you don't need to tap it. You just need to have an extra mana floating around. Once again, we only start with 1 land, so we got a mold of 6. That's a little better. What do we get rid of? I think we get rid of the Flowerfoot. Or a swamp. Alright. Rockface Village into a Heartfire Hero. That's going to get cut down or removed in some way. Alright, discards a card, loses 2 life. What do we want to discard? Let's get rid of the escape. Plains. Damn, I'm good. Ooh, interesting thing here. We can... I'm going to do this. I'm going to fire up the hero. And keep one of them alive with the escape. This could also be a temporary lockdown. Braids. I dig it. But they can only sacrifice the Hopeless Nightmare. So that's going to make us go down. Yep. Alright, cool. It's an Inspiring Vantage, which we needed. So we can Emberheart. Interesting tactic. Interesting on letting all that slide. So that means they have a temporary lockdown. They didn't want to lose their braids. Yeah, attacking in. This is temporary lockdown all the way. Novice Inspector. If we get another land, something crazy can happen. If we get another land, something crazy can happen. They're going to kill the Novice. Oh no, they're going to kill that instead. We didn't get a land. I think this could be it. I think this could be the play. We're going to pump this up. And they have a braids. So do we Manifold Mouse? Yeah, I think we got it. I think we got to do this. Because if they have another creature to sack to braids... We got an interesting line on our opponent here. This has been a great game. You see, even when we take L's and we can't even do things. We still have a pretty good we can stay in matches is what I was trying to say. Monstrous Rage into a Loran's Escape. We could in fact win this game. Right here, right now. We can, in fact, win this game right here, right now. The anticipation. If they try to kill one of our things, we win. Winning. Ooh, that was a great game. We went 3-1 in our games. That, you know, and we lost one, I feel, because we couldn't sideboard correctly, but as I said, the control decks are a big issue with this deck, and it's really hard to compete with this deck, the Mabel deck that I'm rocking, the Mice deck that I'm rocking, against control. And that's always been the case, but it's especially hard with the Mice deck that we rock because we have, like, we weaken ourselves for control to be so much better at everything else. And with control, we're trying to just kind of leap out fast and quick. But I really dig this deck. I mean, I will be fully honest with you. Bloomburrow has got me back into Standard like nobody's business. I'm dreading Duskmourn, not because of the set or anything like that. I'm really dreading it because I don't think it's going to be a good set. I think it's going to be one really disappointing set. Just like Diablo 4 Season 6 is going to be disappointing with all the changes that they've done. You can check those out at Goblin Grenade Podcast here on Extreme TV, on XWW's wrestling channel, and check us out on ExtremeTVOnline.com. $4.99 a month. The first 5 days are free. Catch all the wrestling action that we provide. My name has been Dom Douglas, the back-to-back commentator of the year, and may your top deck always be mythic. And don't forget to check us out on ExtremeTVOnline.com. You can also check us out on Facebook at Extreme World Wrestling and Instagram at Extreme_World_Wrestling. Once again, ExtremeTVOnline.com. It's $4.99 a month. The first 5 days are free.